Honourable Robert Troy.
Thank you, well, I too welcome the opportunity to contribute to this bill. And I suppose fundamentally what this bill is about choice. There's absolutely nothing in this bill that's mandatory. There's nothing on this bill that's going to force either parent do anything that they don't so choose to do so themselves. And I think Minister Doherty's arguments, those of which I heard, were very disingenuous. And I think she should have had the courtesy to at least wait for the debate, given the fact that it's under her remit. And I acknowledge that Minister McGrath, you're a Minister of State with responsibility in this department too, so you will have the opportunity to bring back to the department to the concerns that are being raised and have been raised. As I said, this is about choice. It's about affording mothers of newborn children to share the maternity benefit entitlement with the child's other parent, if they so wish to do so. It's important that we're moving towards broadening parental choice, promoting gender equality and supporting a healthy work-life balance. The bill allows parents of both children to share the 26-week period of paid maternity leave between them. And it's subject to the approval of the mother. Again, so the mother cannot be in any way discommoded. If she doesn't wish to make this choice, she doesn't have to. And the bill is about supporting the mother's right to choose how maternity leave is taken. And I think Minister Doherty was wrong, and she was using phrases like preventing the mammy from bonding with the child. And it was almost trying to insinuate that we were nearly forcing a mother who wanted to stay home with her child to do so. That's factually incorrect. In Ireland, mothers are statutorily entitled to 26 weeks of maternity leave paid by the Department of Social Protection. Mothers have a statutory entitlement to a further 16 weeks without pay. Fathers are entitled to just 2 weeks of paid paternity leave and can only take up some of the mother's entitlement if she dies. And I don't think that's right. And as I said, this is broadening the entitlement and broadening the choice. Minister Doherty made great kudos, or gave great kudos to the government for the recent announcement in Budget 2019, committing to introducing an additional 2 weeks paid maternity leave for mother and fathers on a use-it basis. But what she failed to say was, really and truly, that shouldn't have been an announcement in Budget 2019. It should be an announcement in Budget 2020, because it's not coming until December 2019. So we've gone to a new stage in this administration where you're announcing budgetary measures that's going to come in 12 months in advance. What are the benefits in relation to introducing this shared paternity benefit? I think in the first instance, what it does is it gives an opportunity for a situation whereby perhaps the mother is the main breadwinner, perhaps the mother is self-employed, perhaps the mother is a member of Dáil Éireann, where currently there's no maternity benefit available to them. And we have a woman who is a colleague of ours in this House, gives birth during a current term. There's a pressure nearly to return to work within a short time frame, under the fear that they will lose out, or that they're not operating and representing their constituents fully. So maybe there are instances there, as I said, where it would be more beneficial for the father or the second parent to take up the maternity benefit. And I say so in making the point, again, it's the choice of the mother in conjunction with the second parent. Secondly, I think it also offers the father a greater involvement in the child's life. A recent study conducted by the Overseas Development Institute found that Ireland was the most unequal of the 32 countries studied by the Overseas Development Institute, with saying that just 7% of men provide childcare, less than Iraq. Quite amazing, really. I think by allowing parents to share leave facilities, it offers greater gender equality in doing so by allowing both parents have an instrumental role in the early months of a child's life. And while in many instances in this debate we frequently look to other jurisdictions and say, what's happening? Is it working well? Or where's international best practice? And I suppose one of the countries that was always referred to during my time as my party spokesperson for children, in terms of childcare, in terms of child welfare, in terms of getting it right from an early age, was the Scandinavian countries. And lo and behold, when you look at Sweden, they were the first country to introduce shared maternity leave in 1974. 1974, long before I was even born. So, Minister, there's international evidence out there that has demonstrated this is happening. It's good. It offers choice. It offers a greater opportunity for both parents to provide caring facilities at an early stage in a child's life. And it offers an opportunity, for whatever reason, if a mother needs to go back to work, where the family is not at a loss of the statutory maternity benefit to that family. And ultimately, I think the bottom line is it's about choice. It's not mandatory, and it's not forcing anybody to do what they don't wish to do. And I would ask you to use your position within the Department of Social Protection to try and encourage your line minister, and indeed you're sitting at the Cabinet table, to review your decision in relation to supporting this legislation. It's not going to be voted upon until next Thursday, and at least allow the legislation move to the next stage. And if there are amendments to be made, well then they can be made, they can be debated, and I'm sure, as with any legislation, it can be improved. Gurmagad.